Good day, fellas. I hope you are ready for your daily dose of skill, and today we are going to have something unusual. Today we are going to have our first pancake of the full tank review. So please let me know in the comment section down below, and do you agree with my opinion overall? And the very first tank, the very first victim is going to be VK7501 key. Skill, why have you chose this tank? I chose this tank because recently I finished marking this vehicle up to 100% of the mark of excellence, and I think I figured out everything properly with the tank, right? I figured out how to play with it and how the things are working in general. And if you are curious, fellas, what kind of equipment to use of this tank, I came up with a couple of options. And remember, fellas, we have index page where you can check out equipment setup, field modification setup, everything. So looking into the index page, speaking about the field modifications, this is what I recommend to take. Go with this and go with for a field modification number 6. Go for the speed booster, because if you are going to use turbo, this is going to be very useful thing. And myself personally, I run every single map with turbocharger, rammer, and stabilizer. I tried rotation mechanism as well, but rotation mechanism made the gun handling a bit derpier. Although if you are into the other setup, if you don't like turbo and you want to use the stabilizer, if you want to use the ventilation, keep this in mind, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. It can work. Ventilation, rammer, and rotation mechanism, and so on. Those are the 4 setups which I would recommend to use, and which every single of them can work well, especially the setup like optics, gun rammer, and let's say stabilizer, Prokurovka, Kempinovka. All of those maps can bring you extra assisting damage, especially if you decide not to be too aggressive. This could work very, very well. So let's continue to the video. So first things first. Skill, how do you rate this vehicle? From the 4 ratings, epic, good, playable, bad, I am rating this vehicle as a bad tank. In fact, I think Ball Breaker is even better tank than this tank is. So this is very, very worth a thing to highlight. Skill, what is wrong with this vehicle? Could you please tell us? Let's roll the footage! You saw the extreme examples of gun handling being no bueno. You saw examples of the armor simply not working and getting penetrated left, right, and center. And this is not very good combination of the things. The flexibility of the vehicle is just simply not great. Skill, can you show how the things are looking like? Sure thing. So if you would pay attention, what do we have here? We have VK, which is facing IS-3. So IS-3 can easily penetrate the lower plate, right? So Skill, try to angle a lower plate. Well, yeah, there is no such thing as angle if you want to you know, not take one for the team and not take damage whatsoever. This is very, very worth thing to highlight, even though it is not looking that bad, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Believe me, this is not a great situation. Anyways, so side scrapping is not really working skill, or does it? Imagine that tank is side scrapping like so, right? Let's see, skill. I don't know what are you talking about. Using this, showing just this, it works fine. Well, not anymore. Yeah, whenever someone is loading gold, you are being shredded like hot knife through the butter. And we are comparing with a tier 8 IS3. The thing is, if boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, if we would compare, let's say, against the tier 10, whatever, the Fava, or let's go with E100, right? We are comparing everything against the E100. With AP, everything is looking fine, life is beautiful, and your paper. And what do I want to highlight, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? Armor in World of Tanks in 2022 is not so reliable, okay? And majority of the people can afford and will afford to carry a couple of the gold rounds. And usually, if you are playing with a super heavy tank, you cannot expect people will spam AP ammunition at you. You just simply cannot expect that. And this is very, very worth thing to highlight. And as you can see, the armor model of the tank is definitely not looking doable, playable, and there is no such a thing as angle how you can avoid this. It's just you can't do anything, right? This is very, very worth thing to highlight. One more thing to say, where this tank can be penetrated. So if you are, for some reason, you are going some kind of slope with a butt, and you are pretty much making angle like so, right? So people can see your upper side. This is 40 millimeters plate, and what that basically means, Russian guns and bigger guns overall will be able to penetrate you. 122 millimeters guns up, they will penetrate your upper structure like there is no tomorrow, your forehead, like this position here. Also, engine deck is very easy penetratable as well. So when we have this out of the way, maybe we could go to the game, and maybe we could do something. Maybe we can show the things. What do you think? But before this, roll the clip. This is when this tank works just fine. And we are back with, after this beautiful experience when tank is working just ideally and everything is fine. Now, let's ignore the gun handling in this battle, okay? Let's try ignore this for a second. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, what do I want to showcase in this game? In this game, I want to showcase the armor usage and how the things can go in the good case scenario, you know, how the things can work when you are facing the tanks which do not know where to shoot you or where to aim. What those gentlemen could do, they could try to penetrate us right there, or alternatively they could try to hit our cupola. Other than that, to hit lower plate with IS-6, it is not so simple, it is not so easy, and you know, the gun handling of IS-6 is not ideal. Although even, I mean, it is quite clear they are not penetrating us. We cannot do anything for them as well. Speaking of the speaking of the gun caliber, and what do we have? We have 128 millimeters caliber gun with 226 millimeters of penetration, and with a gold we have the 263 millimeters of penetration and obviously a bit more shell velocity, aka 1150. But the thing is, it is not that great, my friends. I can promise you that it is not that great. And even though here it looks like we can penetrate IS-6 without bigger problems whatsoever, yeah, the things are not working that well in our favor. But this video and this specific battle is not us doing a lot of damage and penetrating them left, right, and center. This video and this moment is shown how you can use armor properly. Still, you are facing stock ISM and IS-6, and both of those tanks are not the most accurate guns. I completely understand this, but I truly want to highlight how the things are looking like when all stars are aligned. How often you are going to get game like this with VK7501 key? You do not have any ARTA, you have a lot of heavy tanks, so you are not too paranoid and you are not too afraid. Honestly, 1 in 50 battles if you are lucky. It is not happening very often, and most of the gentlemen nowadays in World of Tanks, they are going to load the gold ammunition and they will penetrate you like a hot knife through the butter. Everyone who has 250 millimeters penetration plus they can penetrate you into the cheeks, and this is pretty much game over, and nothing what you can change about this. Plus, on top of that, I believe I do not need to say the gun handling is definitely not ideal for us, even though we are going with a full APCR ammunition ourselves. Also, one more very worth thing to highlight: the next game you are going to see is going to be the game when the gun handling is working ideally, and you will be confused, are we playing a Sterva or are we playing VK? So once again, life is beautiful, everything is perfect, we are having a great time until Liberty appeared. Yeah, even though we are trying to block our cupola, I believe it's quite fair to say Liberty is penetrating us like there is no tomorrow into cupola, right? Look, I am even trying to move my gun where my cupola is, and I still get shredded like there is no tomorrow. And this is very important part of all this. This is why I picked this replay, and this is what I want to showcase with this vehicle as well. So one more thing, I know I mentioned this already, but please leave your comment down below and let us know if you have this vehicle. Do you agree with my opinion or you completely disagree and I am talking absolutely nonsense and learn to play and disgusting, okay? Maybe you should think about playing Tetris or Barbie or something else, right? Please let me know. This is very important thing. Also, if you enjoy reviews like this, leave one of those. It helps channel a lot, and I would appreciate that by a mile, fellas. So thank you very much for that. Okay, at this point I decided to be aggressive and I decided to make a bit of pressure. Maybe we can eliminate people who are sitting in the back, and oh, hello there. That was a hard shot, and we managed to penetrate the IS-3, which is very nice, and I am pretty happy about this. And luckily he did not hit our lower plate. I am thinking, can we hit this gentleman in the side? Luckily we can, but once again IS-6 penetrated us into the lower plate, even though it was angled quite a bit, but you know, this vehicle armor is not great unless you are in perfect position and unless you are dealing against the gentleman who has bad RNG or alternatively has aim like this, you know. Other than that, it is not going to work that well. Now, this is a mistake from my side. I am aware of that. I thought IS6 is not paying attention at us, but it is completely fine. No complaints, no regrets. That's what we have. This is the showcase of the armor, and it was kind of perfect for this tank. Now, round number 2, where the gun is working ideally. Let's go. And we are back in the round number 2, and this is definitely worth to highlight. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, what do we have? We have Karelia defense mode when the gun works ideally. Lynx going through the middle of the field wall saying from the other side of the map. No problem, easy hit. And games like this are happening once in a while, but you definitely cannot trust this gun to this extent, even though if you are doing the things perfectly, even though if your aim is top notch, and even if you know exactly what you are doing. This is very, very worth a thing to highlight, right? So anyways, what is our plan in this battle? Our plan is to take the typical position up here, right? And try to side scrap, or alternatively, obviously, try to get a bit involved if enemies are going to make some silly goose mistakes for obvious reasons. By the way, this is the highest damage game I managed to get in 200 games or close to 200 games with this vehicle. And I can tell you one thing, it was frustrating to play with this vehicle. Meanwhile, we spot the Tiger 2. We are spanking the Tiger 2 like there is no tomorrow. I am super excited and I'm super happy. And looking into all the situation, I believe it's quite fair to say and clear to say enemies do not have many forces playing here. Once again, semi-snapshot butts into the Skoda T56 lower plate, and luckily we managed to eliminate him from the game. Moving on next, we could shoot into the lower plate of the ISM, or we can shoot into the turret, because ISM, this particular ISM, he was stock and it doesn't really matter. Lower plate or turret, you can penetrate this gentleman wherever you want. Meanwhile, obviously, we are having a good team. Our team is making quite a bit of pressure and they are showing the dominance over the enemies, and we are just following the train here. But the biggest highlight of this battle is how beautifully this gun is working. If this gun would work like this, I can tell you one thing, fellas, the tank would be rated at least playable or maybe even good if every single shot would go this way. Meanwhile, we are raising our gun and we are missing our shot, but it doesn't really matter because we are 2 ram kills, fellas. Call me disgusting, but this is very good combination in this game. Everything is looking perfect and everything is going very, very well. Obviously, speed is not excellent of this vehicle. It is not the best. This tank is not a sprinter, okay? This tank can go marathon steadily, 30, 34, 36 kilometers per hour. Depends, are you using standard turbo or you are using Bond turbo, but that's about it. You cannot expect it to outrun the light tank for obvious reasons. So we are sitting with a 3000 damage. It is very good. Pay attention to those shots, fellas. Kaboom! Another direct hit to the S1. It is gorgeous, it is amazing, it is beautiful, and oh boys, only if this tank would behave like this all the time, right? Anyways, moving on next, we are just making a hardcore pressure through the middle of the field, and we are hoping to meet one or another enemy who are playing on top of the hill here, right? That's the whole plan. We know there is Samoa, which never ever was spotted. We know there is Udes 14-5, who never ever was spotted, and we truly want to meet someone to simply, you know, say hi. We are friendly, fellas. Meanwhile, we spotted Udes. Udes, how are you doing? Enjoying yourself? Good to hear that. Hello there. 5 271 in the face. Call me dirty, but it looks pretty good, fellas. So, how are you doing, my man? Enjoying yourself? A bit of ramming damage. We are hitting him once again, and he is going back to the garage. 4,800 damage. I think we missed one shot, and that shot was literally on the move to the frontal track of the mill, but it doesn't really matter because we eliminated this guy anyways by ramming him. Skill, how good this game is going to go? Well, you can check it out yourself, fellas. I'm thinking what we supposed to do here, and I am seeing T103. I have a feeling he is sitting here, and ooh, blue silhouette. How are you doing? Kaboom. Spoiler alert, this is a hit and this is a penetration. Once again, we are pretty lucky here, fellas, and there is nothing to say, nothing to do. He has 333 HP left at this point. And once again, what you are seeing here, my friends, you are seeing here 1 out of 100 game when everything is looking ideally. I am not even aiming, I am smacking everyone left, right, and center. And whenever RNG is saying, yep, go for it, I give you a green light, you can penetrate everyone, you can hit every single shot you want to, just go for it. Meanwhile, we are eliminating Samoa for obvious reasons, just to get rid of this gentleman from this game. And once again, let's continue our pressure. And what do we have? Beautiful angle to penetrate Tornwagen and obviously send him to the garage, hopefully. I am thinking, can I get one more? And I am truly I would love to hit that Fava, but this Fava escaped at the time. Meanwhile, we are out of the standard ammunition, so from now on, I believe you can easily say, Skill, you gold noob. Thank you very much. And we want to support our Model 1. If we will be able to, we are going to pick up our 6th skill. And drums. Ideal. There is nothing to say, nothing to do. Model 1 is not very happy. We yoinked the kill. Or maybe he is happy. He raised PP together with us, and we are going to the garage together. So this is the game. This is the score. This is the battle. This is one of a kind game, and you are not going to have those battles too often. That's what we have, fellas. Let's teleport into the garage and let's see what kind of performance we crafted in the game like this. Let's go. And we are back with a scoreboard, fellas. Karelia battle, the best battle which we had damage-wise. And to be fair with you, I shared this game not for a damage. I shared this game how this tank worked. So we have Ace, we have a Top Gun, we have High Caliber, 6.7 thousand damage, 6 kills, 300 assisting damage, 2000 blocking damage. We got a healthy 1.8 thousand base experience. We are top by experience, top by the damage, and we made 226,000 profits, which is always nice and always much appreciated. And it went extremely well. Now, how we played with this tank overall and how the things we are looking like and what was the experience. We finished this vehicle in 168 games, and it took a lot of games, fellas. We got 67% win ratio with 2.6 thousand average damage and 600 assisting damage, and we finished everything up to 100% of the mark of excellence, because this is the goal on this account, right, fellas? And I truly want to highlight this, fellas. It is not the most enjoyable experience to play with this tank, and I would highly recommend to avoid this vehicle. In fact, ball breaker, moher breaker, or however you would call this, it was more enjoyable even though I did a bit less damage with this tank. I am not even joking, fellas. I would rather play with ball breaker because gun handling is just simply a bit more reliable, and it is it is just better. So fellas, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about this type of videos? Because this is a first pancake. I believe we can definitely improve and we can do the things better. So please fellas, let us know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed the very first pancake, and once again, thank you very much for watching, fellas. I hope you had a great time, and obviously big fat thanks for your time. If you were sitting on the toilet, I hope your legs are not numb, and obviously thank you very much for your support, lovely patrons, obviously people who are watching the videos without ad blocker, thank you very much. The people who are sponsors, who click the join button, and obviously people who are buying bananas in the index page. And obviously fellas, speaking about the equipment setup and everything, everything is here. You have multiple choices how you can do the things, and I figured out, for me the best combination of this tank was turbocharger, gun rammer, and improved rotation, and the stabilizer. Improved rotation mechanism made the gun handling even worse, so I decided to go for a stabilizer, and everything went pretty okay-ish for this tank. So thank you very much for watching. That was your daily dose of skill, something new, something unique, and I hope you had a great time. See you very soon. Skill is out for today. Peace.